It's beautiful. So, what's the deal with the rain?
There's a lot of rain in a lot of my songs. I'm very the elements inspire me in general. You know, I talk a lot about space and the sea and the rain and fire and it's just I don't know. It's fertile ground for me.
Nature lovers appreciate you very much, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that we love about you is that you use your platform for a good cause and what you've been through for a good cause, the Dear Jack Foundation. You're doing something really, really cool, the 72K challenge. So, yes, I know some of it, people know about it. Do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah, so the foundation, we focus on initiatives and advocacy for adolescent and young adult cancer patients and survivors. And a lot of people don't know, that seems like it's a narrow group, but it's actually people ages 15 to 39 years old who've seen the least improvement in their survival rates of any other demographic of cancer patient. And that's alarming if you consider how much living happens between the ages of 15 and 39. So we kind of rolled out the 72K challenge, where the goal was to raise $1 for every one of the newly diagnosed AYA patients this year, which is 72,000 new patients will be diagnosed this year. And we're doing good. I think we're close to 50,000, maybe over by now. So it's doing well. And yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. And you've talked to anybody who goes through these things. Once you get kind of out of the woods, a lot of people turn around and try and do their best to make it a little bit easier for the next guy in line. So that's what we're trying to do here.
That's awesome. I think everybody in this room can probably say that they know somebody who's been affected by cancer. So it's just an awesome thing. And bone marrow or marrow transplant registry, right? Is that going to be going on tonight?
Yeah, we sign people up for the bone marrow registry at the shows. It sounds so scary, but it's really not. I mean, I wish there was a better term than bone marrow, because it just sounds gnarly. But yeah, if you want, there's a booth at the shows, and they can get you up to speed on the process. But it's a really simple thing. They do a cheek swab, and then they send that off to the registry. And if there's somebody that pulls that needs marrow donated, then they match you. And the process of giving is actually really easy. You think it's like this crazy procedure, but it's not. It's really simple. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so guys, if you're at the show, you want to get signed up, go ahead and do it.
Do it.
Anybody have questions that they want to ask Andrew right now? Anybody? Going once? All right, there it is.
She has one, but she doesn't want it.
So I was just wondering, what do you do, on days that you have a concert, the days you do a show, I mean, a lot of times you're probably traveling and stuff, but
yeah.
What's a typical day for you, the day of a show?
Is my family with me or aren't they? Because that's a big. But there's actually some overlap. So it's always coffee first thing. Yelp is a traveler's friend. So I'm a avid Yelper. So I'm always the first thing to do is I wake up and try and find the best local coffee, and find a place in town that is actually local and get a good cup of local coffee. Today that was a Starbucks because I'm an idiot, and I heard there was one that was better closer, but I blew that. And then yeah, I mean it's a lot of press or coming out. If a station's been playing the song, go out and say hi to the stations, and then kind of a lot of hanging around. You do sound check around 2:30 or 3. That could take an hour, and then usually by about an hour and a half before the show, I make myself a cocktail and sort of get ready for the evening, so to speak. Yeah.
Have you ever had a little bit too much of a cocktail and messed up in one of your shows, or?
Well, I'm sure that's happened. Yes. No, I mean not too often. I'd say that was probably more there was definitely a handful of something corporate shows where we. Took the stage without handling ourselves as well, and when I say "our," I'm mostly referring to me. But yeah, usually it's more like a slow sip, kind of kill off little nerves, and I want the show to be a party, so it's sort of my way to usher in the party. So
I like it.
Yeah,
welcoming the party.
I mean, yeah, but I definitely try not to go on stage loaded. Yeah, that's not the prerogative. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
We like to know that you're having a fun time.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thanks for the question. Anybody else? All right.
There we go. She's come. She's. There we go.
Well, I wanted to preface this with, one time I stood outside your tour bus when I was like 15 in Modesto or Madeira with my best friend, and I'm really embarrassed about it. I think you knew we were out there, and I'm really sorry.
I didn't come say hi?
You were sick, I think, or something. I feel really bad about it.
I wouldn't. I like to meet people, so I'm surprised we didn't.
It was a really long time ago, but so I'm sorry for being creepy.
It's okay. I've done way creepier things. I used to stalk bands all the time in high school. So yeah, I have some really awkward pictures with some of my favorite artists.
Then I met you in Salt Lake City, and I hugged you for way too long. I felt bad about that too. Anyway, so how do you ever get writer's block? And if you do, how do you get over it?
I had a really notable period of writer's block right around the Glass Passenger record, the second Jack's Mannequin record, and it was super debilitating, and it was yeah. And what I did to get out of it, the ultimate thing that got me out of it was I wrote a song about having writer's block. That was the thing that pulled me from that place. I was like, okay, well, if you can't write about anything, write about how you're blocked up. And there was a song called Crashing, which I think actually is the first song on that record, that was about that process and like trying to find my voice again. Because I think a lot of that was tied to, this weird transitional period of kind of coming back to life and back to the world, and I wasn't sure how to talk about that. And so Crashing was kind of this avenue into all that. Other than that, you try and stop. I try not to. I can get into a place where I'll sit at the piano and write a verse. And I'm like, this is amazing, and then never get to a chorus and just beat my head against the piano, and it's horrible. And so I think other approaches are always good. Trying to find another way to write. Find a collaborator, find somebody who inspires you, and get in a room with them and try and write. I think those kinds of things are really helpful. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for asking. And admitting. It's the first step. All right. How about another song? Can we get another one from you?
Well, I'm gonna dig and do. We talked a little bit about Jack, so I'm gonna do Jack's Mannequin songs.
Yeah.